and welcome to Biz Buzz with Bruno, presented by Mads Theater. And today we're talking to the lovely and talented Chris Diorio, who's representing StageQ with their upcoming production. Thank you for joining us today, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and who you are, and so I can get to know you a little better.
Certainly. Well, I have been in Madison for about 9 years now. I've only got involved in theater here in about 2018. Once jobs and life allowed me to get back involved. Mostly been stage managing down at the Bartell for various different theater groups, and then now finally in the director's seat for a show, and I'm really excited about it, to get back into it.
And where were you before you came to Madison?
Before I came to Madison, I was in New York City area, Staten Island, and then I was also in upstate New York for school. So.
And then, how did you pick Madison, Wisconsin, of all places that you could have gone to?
Yeah, so I moved out here for mostly for work. I used to work at Raven Software. It is a video game development company here it's actually in Middleton. And that's what brought me here. And then I ended up leaving that job, now work for the university, and I just stood here ever since. Mostly a lot of the activities that I've gotten to get involved with have been able to keep me grounded here.
And so what brought you to StageQ particularly?
So with StageQ, I wanted to find something, when I first heard about StageQ as a queer theater, it was something I definitely wanted to get involved in as a queer person myself. And I actually first got involved with StageQ back in 2019 with their queer shorts. I was one of their stage managers for it, so I got a chance to check out all the wonderful shows for that and gotten to know a lot of people there. And since then, I've been involved with them, as well as many other groups here in Madison, ever since. And I love the work that StageQ does. I love seeing the very unique shows that they've put up to, some that many folks have not even heard of and are just fantastic pieces. So definitely really happy to be working with them again.
And how do you find your transition from being a stage manager, which everybody has to be a stage manager because they're God. You find a good stage manager, you will never get a break. So, yeah. They're, once you start I can stage manage, you're going to stage manage everything. Everybody's going to want you to make the transition from stage managing to directing.
Yeah. So back in college, I directed a couple shows. So this isn't my first time in the director's seat, but it's my first time in the director's seat here in Madison. And I've always enjoyed doing it. I just haven't been able to find a piece or an opportunity that I connected with most to get involved with it. With stage managing, that was easy for me to get involved with. It's actually a funny story. I kind of got involved with stage managing by mistake. Just word of warning, if you're out at the bar, be aware of folks talking about theater, because you might get roped into a show. I was at the bar, and I heard a couple people talking about, just a bunch of shows, and I decided to chime in and mentioned that, I remember this one show that I stage managed, and you just see the eyes go up,
yes.
and they're like, oh no. And next thing I know, I'm stage managing a whole bunch of shows.
So you said the magic word.
I said the magic word.
You did.
Yeah, and transitioning from that into directing, it's definitely different, because I think the biggest thing has been, when I'm a stage manager, I'm looking down at the script most of the time, taking notes, all that stuff. Whereas as a director, I'm giving the directions, I'm telling folks how to do it, and I'm getting that vision out there. I don't have to worry about taking notes because there's somebody doing it for me. But it's just having that kind of creative ability to bring something to life has just been awesome for me.
And how did you come to find Laced?
So, I was actually down in Chicago with a few friends, and we were hanging out at this place called Rogers Park Social. And we saw a poster for Laced for its first performance down in Chicago up on the board. Sadly, we didn't get a chance to see it because when we saw it, it was already closed. But it just stuck with me, the theme of that poster. I went ahead and looked it up afterward, and it seemed like a fantastic show, and it was something I really wanted. I really connected with. I really connected with the script once I was able to read it. And I reached out to Zach out of StageQ and asked him about the show. Come to find out that they've been trying to do the show for quite some time, just due to various different issues, including our favorite excuse for a break that has happened a few years ago. Mm-hmm. They haven't had a chance to do it, and now finally I asked, hey, I'd be interested in directing this and giving it a shot. And next thing I know, they're letting me have this shot, which I'm super excited. It's a little nerve-wracking, obviously, but I'm really excited.
And tell us a bit about the story. What's the storyline? What's the plot?
Yeah. So the show takes place at a bar called Maggie's down in Tampa, Florida. This takes place just months after the Pulse tragedy and just days before the 2016 election. It opens up on the bar after it's actually just been vandalized. So there's graffiti, there's things broken. It's a mess. And it centers around three bartenders who are trying to pick up the pieces, trying to figure out what happened. How did this happen? Are we safe? And the show goes back to the night before, where you get to see the events of the night, of the people they've met, the conversations that they've had, and it becomes more of a show less about the tragedy of what happened to the bar, but more about what we call family, what we call our chosen family, what we the relationships that we have with each other, and how important that is to make our safe spaces safe spaces. And it is amazing to see these three very different stories of amazing queer people who have lived their lives and centered around this bar that just became a second home to them.
And it's written by Samantha Mueller, is it?
Yes.
And do you know any of her background at all?
I know she's been working on this show for quite some time, actually. It's been really nice that recently we've been able to get a chance to work with her as we're going through rehearsals. Samantha actually zoomed into a couple of our rehearsals, got to answer some questions for the cast that they were thinking about. We've been doing some workshop on some of the scenes and looking at different things with the script. So it's been fantastic to work with her. I'm not too familiar with any of their other work. I'm honestly not sure, but the script is just so poetic and beautiful way of writing. So I'm very excited. If this is her first show, dang good job. I really love it. So I wish I could tell you more about Samantha's background, but unfortunately I don't know too much myself.
Oh, that's fine. But you can tell us about what are some of the characters in the show and who are some of the actors you have in the cast.
Yeah. So like I said, it centers around three bartenders, and they're the only actors in the show. Okay. The first is Minnow, who is played by Franny. Minnow is a lesbian bartender, half Cuban, who is basically the one that got put in charge after the owner has gone on a sudden vacation. She is she's a romantic. She loves dancing. She loves her Cuban heritage, and is going about how her own family issues, as well as coming into her own relationships as well. She's a Franny has done a fantastic job of embodying that character, embodying that kind of motherly figure of the group, and is fantastic to work with. The second character is Kat, which is played by Alyssa Stowe. Kat is a non-binary person who is probably wearing combat boots, but is also a drag extraordinaire. Loves their drag performers. Is usually up doing, as we like to call it, I think as I like to call it, it's called basically Wednesday Addams type drag. Love Alyssa's energy for this character has been fantastic, being that big sister picking on you at the same time, but can be really down to earth and will throw a couple punches for you if needed. And it is fantastic. And then our final character is Audra, which is played by Kendra. And Audra is a person of color, bisexual woman who is one of the newer employees to the bar. She doesn't really... she's just learning about the history of the bar, history of Maggie's, what they used to do, and it's a lot younger than the rest. But obviously, this has become her home as well, very quickly even. She has been building these relationships with the other bartenders, learning not just much about them, but about herself as well. And a lot of her story goes around her bisexuality and the idea of a lot of times bi erasure. So it's really interesting to see her story and embodying everything that she's been through. And Kendra has been doing a wonderful job. She is a powerful, powerful young woman and has brought this character to life in so many ways. So, it centers mostly around, really around those three. I would almost say the fourth character is the bar itself. And it is fantastic to see the three of them really work together and really become very close. A lot of it is not just their individual stories, but their stories with each other. So seeing them build those relationships in real time in our rehearsals and outside of rehearsals has been awesome to see.
So do you know, or has Samantha said if these based on real people that really are, that she knows, that she knew, or are they completely figments of her imagination, or a conglomeration of a lot of people that she knew?
Yeah, it's a conglomeration of a lot of people that she knew. A lot of she is actually originally from Tampa. So a lot of this were experiences and people that they knew just in their life. So it's interesting to bring in these people, these various characters, to life and bringing their stories to the stage.
And is this being performed in the Evue or in the Drury stage?
This is in the I always get them mixed up, which is the
Evue's the small one.
Yes, yeah. Evue. Yes. I always get them mixed up. I don't know why. I've been there so many times, and I keep getting the two.
They should just call it the upstairs theater and the downstairs theater.
The big one and the black box.
Right.
Yes, this is going to be in the Evue. And we're looking at the set. One of the biggest things when it came to the set is, and I told our set designer Teresa this, I don't want folks to be walking into a theater with a bar as a set. I want folks to be walking into a bar.
Oh, okay.
So the idea of making it as immersive as possible, as if this is also your bar, this is also your home as well. So, and I think having the Evue stage being that kind of black box theater is perfect place to do that.
It is much more conducive to make it environmental theater in this small one than it is, to be upstairs. I agree with you.
Oh yeah.
And the dates are April 28th through May 13th.
That is correct. We are running for 3 weekends.
And the tickets are on sale. Tickets on sale now at Bartel?
Yes. Yep. Tickets are on sale now on the Bartel Theater, on the Bartel's website. We're really excited to see everybody there.
And anything else you can tell us about the show, or about what maybe your next future plans are, since you're not going to get a break now? That's it. You had 2 years off for COVID, and that was it. Now, you will never stop.
Yeah. Well, I might have another stage management role coming up soon. I'm just waiting. I can't really talk too much about it, but I'm waiting to hear more details on that. But who knows what's coming up soon? I love doing theater in any way, shape, or form. So I've also been looking up various different shows to potentially direct again, because I've really enjoyed doing this work. So who knows where the next time you'll see me at is, or not see me if I'm backstage. I'm supposed to be hidden. I'm supposed to be the ninja backstage. But yeah, I'm really excited for this show. I think it's a really powerful piece. It has its funny moments. It has its serious moments. And it really brings... I think being that we end in May, getting so close to Pride Month, it's a great way to kick off Pride and what these spaces mean for us, especially these days when a lot of, thanks to COVID, a lot of those spaces don't exist anymore. So being able to celebrate those kind of spaces as well. So I'm really excited to bring this to life, and really excited to show everybody.
And then StageQ's also has the Capital Q Festival. That's in June, isn't it?
Yeah. And I actually was one of the production assistants for that as well last year. I also taught the stage manager class during that weekend last week. And that's always a lot of fun with that festival. Some really great shows, local playwrights. And I can't wait to, I hopefully can get involved again this year. So keep an eye out for that as well during June.
Excellent. Wonderful. Well, this has been a real treat getting to know you. And I'm so happy that you're aboard and doing things at the Bartel and with StageQ, which I've been a part of for many, many, many years. Mm-hmm. And go out, enjoy the rest of this brief bit of summer that we're having.
Oh yes, I think I mentioned earlier I was so happy. I know it's a bit of a curse, but I am so happy I'm wearing shorts right now. It's the part of the year I keep waiting for every time. So
as we all do. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Jim. And we will see you next time on Biz Buzz with Bruno.